All right, what's up, Turtle Riders? How we doing now? Are we live right now? I don't see us in the live. Let's see. Hold on, let me refresh this. Hope we're live. All right, we're live. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm going to go ahead right now, and as usual, I am going to share this momentarily on the Clarence Woods Emerson Facebook page. If you guys wouldn't mind doing the same, that would be just dandy. Give me one moment. We live. All right, so we're good. All right, guys. Let me just adjust the microphone here. Put the microphone on. Let's see. And while I'm doing that, I might as well do a read from our sponsors. Remember, guys, this episode's brought to you by our sponsors, including our good friends over at Garage Doors Plus in Quincy. You know them by now. If you have one of those old rickety garage doors, you know, you come home, you got to get out of the car, open it up like a savage, like you're Barney Rubble. It's time to get with the times. Call up our friends at Garage Doors Plus in Quincy. They will come over that day. You can find them online at gdplus.com if you want to see some of their fantastic work. They will come over that day. They'll give you a price that is so fair, it will blow your doors off. No pun intended. And they're probably you're gonna like it a lot. You're gonna hire them, and guess what? They're gonna do it that day too. At the end of it, you can get a nice little clicker. You're gonna press that button. Boom. Garage door is gonna go up. Boom. Garage door goes down. That's Garage Doors Plus in Quincy. GDPlus.com. Most importantly, make sure you tell them that the Turtle Boy sent you. Chris loves to hear that. Chris Riggs, great guy, great owner. Can't say enough about the tremendous work they do over there. All right, so I didn't even know there was a debate tonight. I'm like, oh, how the hell are they going to have a debate without telling me? A day after impeachment? Come on. I didn't even know. There was no. I mean, there's been a lot of debates, let's be honest. What are they going to say that they haven't said before? Every time I see Tom Steyer, I want to punch him in his face, too. I freaking hate that guy more. Now that Beto's gone, I hate that guy so much. You know what I hate about Tom Steyer so much? Is the fact that nobody calls him out. Like, you're the Democratic Party. You're supposed to hate rich white guys who buy everything. The guy literally just bought his way onto the freaking stage. You're just going to let it happen. What is up with that? So, how's the mic sound, guys? Mic sound all right? Good. All right. So, did you guys all watch? I mean, I'm not going to rehash impeachment too much right now because, quite frankly, I did a 45-minute podcast on it today with Jerry Callahan. You guys listen to that? Anybody tune into the inaugural podcast with Jerry Callahan? Oh, man, the numbers are low, 52. We got to get those shares up, folks. I know we're not talking about Ryan Waters and all, but it could still be an interesting show. So, yeah, impeachment, man. Well, first of all, did you guys listen to the Jerry podcast? What did you guys think? I posted it in a blog, so you guys can see that. And I hope you liked it. We're going to keep doing that. The only thing about that is it's in freaking Boston in the morning. So I got there at 7:30. I had to leave my house like 5:30. It took an hour and 45 minutes to get there. It's freaking insane to go there in the morning in Boston. It's like right in not the north end. Like you're right across. It's right across the street from. You can get to the TD Garden from there. I forget. I get Boston, that whole head part of Boston, I get all confused. We were in there. Parking's a bitch. I mean, I freaking hate Boston. I mean, at least that part of Boston. I freaking hate it. But we got it done. We were in this fancy club. I guess you have to be pay. It's like you have to pay like $2,500 a year to be a member of this club. Gronk's a member of the club. All the people are all athletes and shit are members of this club. And I'm allowed in there. I felt like quite a big shot. It was very fun, very exciting. So, me and Jerry did our thing. Hope you guys listened to it. Hope you liked it. We talked a lot about mostly impeachment. You know, he kind of led the way, but I threw my 2 cents in. I went and listened to it. I'm like, yeah, there's definitely some work I got to do. I'm not going to lie. You can't fake an argument, but it's almost better when the two co-hosts disagree on more stuff. And I tried to find something, and quite frankly, the Hunter Biden thing, I'm team pro Hunter Biden. I feel bad for that guy. I mean, how'd you like to... Hunter Biden is just a complete fuck up. Like, complete fuck up. But he didn't ask for any of this. Like, Hunter Biden
was just born to be a degenerate. You know what I mean? Like, he was born to be a lucky sperm shithead that always fucks shit up constantly. Thank you, Brittany. Appreciate that. And he just, because he banged his brother died, and then he banged his wife, and he's already married. So that's why Joe didn't run in 2016. And he's been caught with a crack pipe, dropped out of the Navy after like a couple weeks. I bet you he'd be fun. Don't get me wrong. I think Hunter Biden. I was down in Cincinnati. I'm like, you know who would be having a good time right now? Hunter Biden. We gotta hang out with that dude. I bet you he's fun. Because there's nothing to investigate with him. To me, it's like, yeah, so his daddy got him a job. I mean, that's all it came down to. His connected daddy got him a job. Not exactly a novel concept. The whole thing's stupid. The whole thing is absolutely stupid. And they're up there and they're telling me that, I mean, does anybody out there right now, like, even like my Democrat friends, like, do you guys feel like scared? Like, because that's the way they wanted to make it seem last night. Like, this shit's fucking scary, you know. That aid to Turkey got held up for like a couple minutes, guys. It didn't go through right away. I don't know if you know that. So we were all in mortal danger there for a little bit. Luckily, they got it. And we're all here today. We all survived. Thoughts and prayers, okay? Thoughts and shares. We're out there. All right. So, I mean, Joe Biden's had like a tragic life. You know, his wife died in a car accident, and I want to say another sibling died. I don't know if it was the brother. I think he's had two kids and his wife die, and then he's left with Hunter. How many times do you want to bet he's asked himself, like, God, why Hunter? Why have to be him? Why couldn't it be, one of the other ones? I mean, don't lie. I guarantee he's thinking that. You left me with this one? Oi, give me a break. Anyway, let's talk about, so here's one thing I want to talk about today. So I kind of posted something cryptic on Facebook yesterday. And a lot of people have been asking me about it. And I'll pull it up right now, actually, on my phone. You guys read this? This post that I made? Let's see. Yesterday, it got a lot of action. I'm just going to read this to you. And let me know what you think. 277 comments this post got. Let me try this once again because literally no one's asking. Let's skip to it. All right. Michelle Carter is sitting in jail right now because a judge ruled that her text messages caused someone to commit suicide. So we've been over the Michelle Carter story. You guys know she's freaking that crazy chick who in high school like repeatedly sent really disturbing text messages to this guy, this 17, 18-year-old kid, Conrad, who was her ex or something like that. I don't know. She seemed like she was fucking with him, and she was just doing it for the sympathy. It was completely twisted. It was so twisted. But she's in jail right now. She never touched him. She never gave him a weapon, right? She never really, I don't even know if she lied to him, if that's what you want to call it. But she manipulated him for sure. And ultimately, he made that choice. But she went to jail. So that was a groundbreaking court decision. And I think about it a lot. And let me read the rest of this scenario. Hypothetical. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So question. If someone kills themselves because they find out their emotionally abusive spouse is cheating on them with a coworker, is that any different? Should that spouse be allowed to collect the life insurance? Why should Michelle Carter be in jail, but not the cheating spouse? If this situation were real, would it be blog-worthy? Or is infidelity so common and personal that it's not anyone else's business asking for a friend? So, I did not explain, and I'm still not going to explain right now what this was, because I haven't decided if I'm going to write this blog or not. And I wanted to see so. I knew everyone was going to be like, yeah, it's blog-worthy, because some people just like to watch the world burn. You guys don't care. You just want to hear a good story, obviously. But there's some things I have to take in consideration, like, for instance, this individual who passed away has kids, and do I want that out there for the kids to read, right? Especially around this time. And that was something to consider. Also to consider. So one thing I was blown away with, though, in the comments, it seemed like the majority of people who responded to this question said that what Michelle Carter did was worse. And I disagree with that. Okay. And obviously there's some details here that need to be hashed out. But it makes you think. My answer is I don't think either of them should be in jail or either of them should be charged with a crime, right? And I think it's a very dangerous precedent that was set when Michelle Carty went to jail. For instance, put it this way. What do you think would be more likely to get your spouse to kill themselves? If you sent them a message and you were like, yo, kill yourself, you're a piece of shit, kill yourself. Or, I just suck your friend's dick. What do you think would be more? Obviously, most of you, your spouse would not kill themselves over either of those. But what do you think is more incendiary? See what I'm saying? What do you think is more incendiary? Because ultimately, I think nobody should ever, under any circumstances, unless it's like a mentally retarded person who you fuck with and you tell them to run into the street or onto a train track, right? Something like that. That's the only time I can ever see it being okay. But if you're just telling somebody, like, go kill yourself, and they do it, I have a hard time. I can't do it, man. I don't care how evil Michelle Carter is. And the more I see stories like this, because most people agreed. They're like, most people who commented said, no, he should not go to jail. Or she should not go to jail for this, for cheating on her husband. That should not be a crime. But Michelle Carter should be because she did it on purpose, right? But ultimately, I mean, what do you think is more likely to get someone to kill themselves, right? I'm a serious question about that, right? So, like, let me read some comments I got from this. So, did she actively encourage someone to take their own life? If so, that's vastly different than someone making an independent decision based on an action taken by someone else that has nothing to do with encouraging self-harm. But couldn't you make the argument then, right, that, like, what do you think he's going to do when you cheat on him over and over and over again, and you're like, and you not only that, you're hooking up with his friends, his coworkers, and stuff like that, right? People you call brother. Right, I got your back, brother. Like stuff like that, and like yeah, and you're blowing him, right? If we're gonna send Michelle Carter to jail, how are we not sending this person to jail? See what I'm getting at here? You see the door that's been opened by this, and people say, "Well, it's different. She didn't send him messages." I'm like, "Well, what she did is worse. I mean, is more incendiary, in my opinion. You know what I mean? More incendiary. Well, she didn't know he was gonna kill himself." Come on. I think at that point you kind of know, right? You kind of know something's up. That just doesn't come out of nowhere, right? And that happens. Other ones, let's see. I feel that a cheating spouse's intent isn't for the other party to commit suicide. Fair enough. Michelle Carter straight up said, kill yourself and get it done. Your family will get over it. Well, put it this way. In this situation, I don't have any proof of this, right? But I'm willing to bet some very strong words were exchanged leading up to this event, right? And I'm not going to, again, I don't want to get in the business of blogging about infidelity and adultery. Quite frankly, talk about the floodgates opening. You understand how, what some of my inbox would be like tomorrow morning if we started doing blogs on infidelity? Oh, Jesus Christ. So, but what if she knew that her husband was like emotionally unstable and he had previously 5 years ago been committed to a mental health facility after she cheated on him the first time? What about that? I mean, isn't that, he's fucked up and you kept sucking his friend's dick anyway, right? So how is that anywhere? I mean, how do you think he's going to react? He's fucking obviously emotionally unstable, right? But my big thing is, like, when I saw this, I'm like, this is just more reason. I don't know why I'm standing up for this girl because she's positively evil, but principles are principles, Other people saying, let's see. Obviously, a situation like this has become a story. It would help to tell us who you're talking about. So I can't tell. I mean, that's the thing about this is, like, I so want to. It's so hard because I read the story. I'm like, I've never been so enraged about a story before. and I can't write about it. It's weird. I'm like censoring myself, and I never do that. And I'm doing it for a couple kids, basically, right? And a grieving community. I would love nothing more. And I'm also doing it because of the precedent that could possibly be set here, where for the first time we're kind of shaming cheaters, and that's not a road I want to go down, right? So like KT's asking a question. Let me ask you this, my little turtle. Should Unc go to jail if Ryan kills himself? That's another great question, right? Because I get the threats all the time from people who say they want to kill themselves because of a blog. Should I be responsible for that? Of course not. Of course not, right? So where do we draw the line? My point here being is that, like, I don't care who you sent it to, right? Nobody has to do it. Nobody has to do it. All right. So, I mean, it's just a really tough. Any other comments here? Let's see. What do you guys think in the comments? Let me read your comments. See what you guys are saying. All right, pull yours up before we go on to the next topic. Some things you should pass on. This topic without firsthand knowledge is one of those. So, I mean, I wouldn't bring the kids into it, obviously. I'm not going to name the kids. I just feel like it sucks to watch the wife get a free pass on this one. You know what I mean? Because I've gotten so many people have sent us messages about this story. Like, people are freaking furious about it in this town, which I will not name. Lots of people are sending in things about this. And I would also like to point out that I joined a community group in this town, right? And I commented with something similar that I posted on the wall. I'm like, I think there's more to this story. And I got a lot of blowback. People are like, mind your own business, Turtle Boy. Stay out of our town, all that shit. One guy said, none of your business. Guess who that guy was that said none of your business? Guess who it turned out to be? Take a wild guess. Let's see if anyone can guess who the guy was that told me to mind my own business. Oh, thank you, KT. I appreciate that. Yep. It was the other guy. The other guy told, and the other guy had changed his profile picture in memory of the deceased. Yeah. You understand how angering that is to see that? To be told to mind my own business by the guy who turns out to be the center of the story, who is pretending to be a grieving friend at this point. You understand how enraging that is to see that and not be able to write about it? Yeah, that's my predicament. That's my predicament. So, I mean, I'm speaking in hypotheticals now. I'm sure some of you out there have figured it out. And I feel like I've kind of done that by just posting that vague post on Facebook yesterday, because the individual did end up blocking me in the last 24 hours. So he obviously knows I'm onto him, right? His page is still up. And it's just enraging to see. Another thing is the wife posted on Facebook, right? And said, this whole thing about, we didn't have a perfect marriage and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And she said that he did what he had to do. That was a direct quote. He did what he had to do. And I just found that very disturbing, because if my significant other killed themselves, or if anybody's significant other kills themselves, I feel like a natural reaction, a natural quote, and I understand people who grieve differently, would be something to the extent of, why did he feel he had to do that? Didn't he know he didn't have to do that? I wish I could talk to him one more time. To me, those are natural reactions to that. Not, he did what he had to do. That's just a freaking insane thing to say, Insane thing to say. Becca says, I'm not going to say any names, Becca. Okay. And that's the thing. It's like the only reason that I haven't done this, guys, is for those kids. That's literally the only reason. However, I also worry the kids don't even know how the father died. They don't know it was suicide. And I worry that will be kept a secret from them their entire lives. I mean, if that was me, right? And they loved their father, they loved this guy. And if that was me, and I found out later on, 10 years later, that my father died because he was so upset that my mother was cheating. I would never talk to my mother again. I'd be like, you didn't tell me, and that's another thing that pisses me off, right? Just walking around town, walking around the kids like, oh, this is so sad, poor me. Here's my life insurance check, right? Infuriating. The kids are, old enough to understand infidelity, I think, old enough to understand death, the concept of death, the finality of it, but not like high school age yet. So, yeah, I mean, it's a tough one, man. So you want the kids to know, but you don't want them to know right now. I mean, they need time to grieve. It's kind of important, So it's like an ethical dilemma I'm in here. I've never, ever been in a situation like this before with the blog that I've really wanted to write about, and I just can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it to them. That's all I can think about, is the kids. So, some people, I've pulled people around the town about it. And a lot of people from the town do want me to write about it, but those who are closest to him don't, because of the kid factor. And I've run it by Bristol and other people that I trust, and I get mixed reactions from them. Some say no, some say yes. So it is a tough one. It's a very, very tough one. All right. All right. Let me read the question. Any questions you guys have before we move on to the next topic real quick? Because I just wanted to explain that Facebook post, because a lot of people have been asking about it and sending in. And I appreciate you guys sending in shit. If there's like a smoking gun I get in this, thank you, Jason. I appreciate it. I appreciate the donation. I can't promise you I'm going to write the blog, but believe me, I will write it if it seems absolutely necessary to, right? And we'll see down the line what this woman's up to, if she continues to lie and play the victim card, we'll see. We'll see. I also don't know what kind of relationship they had. I mean, that's another thing about this. Is like, you don't know the kind of relationship, what was going on in the home. You don't know. I wasn't there, so I don't know, right? I just, it's essentially a blog that comes from a lot of rumors, right? When everybody's telling you it, though, you start to, it raises red flags. All right. Let's see if you guys have any questions about this. Yeah, Nick says, don't write it. It's news and it's relevant. That's what you do. Yeah, I mean, it is. It's tough, man. It's tough. And I agree with KT. It's like the fact that those who are closest to him are the ones that are saying no certainly adds some gravity to it. You know what I mean? Would it affect her collecting life insurance? I don't know. I don't think so. Here's the thing. The police report has not been released on this one yet. So it happened in the same town, right? That the guy worked. And there are rumors, I mean, from what people are telling me, that there was more than one gunshot. I mean, I can't confirm that for sure. But until I see a police report, I can't, which would mean crazier shit happened. And I have no way of confirming that, though. So, like, you understand, people are telling me different things about this. And I've heard really disturbing parts of this story. Really, 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 really disturbing. But the thing is, until I actually... the cops aren't going to go on record. The cops aren't going to tell me anything about this, right? So you just hear rumors. And you can't write a story based on rumors. You need facts. FACKX. All right. No, so long story short, I don't see how it would affect the life insurance. I don't know. Does life insurance cover suicide? Does most life insurance policies cover suicide? Because that would be an angle, obviously. If it was a cover-up about the manner of death in order to collect the life insurance, that would be a scandal. But then again, the life insurance goes to the kids, right? That's one thing I would like to see. I would like to see every single dollar go right to the kids, like in some sort of trust fund. That would make me feel a lot better about this, Yeah, I mean, AG Day King makes a great point. It would be awful if the children read online how the parents died. I mean, exactly. I mean, it's terrible. It's terrible. I mean, I got to write facts, but at the same time, I'd rather not be the villain. I mean, you run the risk of becoming the villain at that point as the author. It's so tough. It's so tough. But I think with this one, it's like this is always going to be in my back pocket, right? Always going to be in my back pocket. I'm never going to forget this story, and I'm not afraid to write about it in the future, right? Whenever that may be. Maybe I never will. Maybe I will. But Rebecca says she deserves it. And a lot of people that have messaged me have said the exact same thing. Furious, especially, guys and girls, right? Some of his friends are messaging me fucking furious about it. Like furious, angry, not going to the wake, not going to their friend's wake because they don't want to shake her hand, All right. Yeah, I mean, it would be impossible to write a hypothetical about this. My angle on it would be, my big angle is the Michelle Carter angle. That's the big angle of this, is like, where do we draw the line? That's the big picture of this all, and that's why I kind of phrased it like that. Does life insurance cover suicide? I mean, do we establish that yet? Is that standard? I don't know. People are saying suicide is covered after 2 years, so probably it's covered then. Yeah, I would assume so, right? All right. So, other thing I wanted to get to, right? The little later topic is do you guys see what happened with J.K. Rowling today? The blog I did today. Sorry about the lack of content. It's a freaking trip to Boston killed me today, and I was there for a long time too. But this shit, I've never laughed so hard. This poor lady. So J.K. Rowling is like the ultimate far left radical on Twitter. She goes at Trump constantly, just constantly is going at him. It's like 7 million people woke virtue signal, and nothing kind of makes me happier than when these people get attacked by the mob that they helped create. And that is exactly what happened today. And it was glorious to watch because they went after the sacred cow. Right? There's like a social hierarchy for the left. Obviously, straight white guys right to the bottom. Right to the bottom. Who do you guys think is after straight white guys? How do we do the rankings? Who's number 2 on the least oppressed scale? Would you say white gay men, like the Buttigieg factor? Would that be number 2, second from the bottom? I feel like white gay men are below black men. And I think Hispanics are in between white gay men and black men. Asians are like literally almost on the exact same as white. Maybe a half increment up, maybe. Right? But obviously then, number 1 at the top, like the best you can be is transgender. There's nothing else that's more protected than transgender, which is ironic because often the people that we're protecting were born straight white males. That's ultimately the irony of this whole thing, is that it's gone full circle, and now the group that they protect more than anything are straight white dudes, which is freaking Wally's World to me, right? So this happens because I don't know if Laura's here right now. I had a conversation about Laura today. I've never been so happy to be an American than when I read this story today. So J.K. Rowling tweets out something in support of some chick named, we got a little FUPA computer here going. Her name is Maya Forster. Forster? I don't know how to pronounce it. Let me pull it up here. And this woman was fired from her job for some tweets that were not even the least bit controversial. I'll exit that. Let's read some of these tweets. So these are some of the tweets that the woman sends. So she says, what I am surprised at is the smart people who I admire, who are absolutely pro-science in other areas and champion human rights and women's rights, are tying themselves in knots to avoid saying the truth that men cannot change into women because that might hurt men's feelings. And if you look at the picture of the chick, whatever the dude that they're protecting, it's like a guy with a mustache, a beard, It's like full-fledged dude. And so she works with this guy, and she's calling him a dude. And he's like, no, that's ma'am. And she's like, no, you can't come in the bathroom with me because you're a freaking dude. And she goes home and she tweets about it, right? Everything she just said there is accurate, right? Men cannot change into women. I mean, that's not deniable. I thought the whole thing was, well, this is just how I identify. Well, yeah, you identify that because you think that's what it is in your brain. But the reality is down there, it's just not happening. So she goes on to say, some transgender people have cosmetic surgery, but most retain their birth genitals. Everyone's equality and safety should be protected, but women and girls lose out on privacy, right? I mean, that's true. You don't want to see dick in the locker room, I'm sure, right? I mean, that's the dick-free zone. Safety. And that's the one that, by the way, gets her in trouble. The fact that she says safety. However, I would argue that in like girls' sports, like if you do girls' UFC or whatever, Fallon Fox, right, is a dude who beats the shit out of women. How is that? Or rugby, right? Some of these sports where you can just get these huge men in there to fuck shit up, right? You can't. That's a safety issue. So that's certainly accurate, right? Changing rooms, dormitories, prisons is another one. Prisons. I mean, that's the most obvious one. Like, you're going to allow... What if you have a convicted freaking rapist in a men's prison that wants to become transgender, starts taking the hormones? I mean, does he still get a hard on? I don't know. Probably. As long as he can get a hard on, he can fuck, and he can rape, and he can do so in a women's prison if he wants to, right? Or she. I don't want to misgender this, killer rapist. They go on to say, I share the concerns that radically expanding the legal definition of women so that it can include both males and females makes it a meaningless concept. Thank you. And that's the ultimate defense of this whole nonsense is just say, and Matt Walsh I follow on Twitter, I got this from him, and it's brilliant. I mean, all you have to say is, what's a woman? That's all you got to say is, what's a woman? Define woman for me. Watch what they say. They can't do it. Their head literally explodes when you say, what's a woman? Because they'll say, well, it's somebody who thinks they're a woman. Okay, but what do they think they are? What is that, right? If I think I'm a dog, I can describe what a dog is. It's a thing that barks and it's got 4 legs and a tail, right? And it's a certain genus and species. That's a dog, right? But what is a woman? What is it? What do you think you are? And the fact of the matter is, it's somebody who menstruates, right? Who are most of them menstruates, who doesn't have a dinky doodle, who XX chromosomes, the works. Couple fun bags in there, etc. Oh, thank you, Joe Griffin. I appreciate it very much. Uterus, period. And they can't do it. They can't say it because they know that's the truth, and they know it will just blow up their whole experience, right? So this woman ends up getting fired for it, and she sues. I showed up late and should be charged as well. Thank you, Joe. You don't have to do it. So she gets fired for it, and she sues, and it goes to a court. And this is like crazy shit. What a fucked up country England is. No offense to my friend Laura out there, but she says, the specific belief that the claimant holds as determined is the reasons is not a philosophical belief protected by the Equality Act. So there's an act, a law of Parliament, right, that says that the things that you're saying and believe in, those aren't protected thoughts, right? So you can't think those things. That's literally what they're saying. We don't have any laws like that in America, and we never will because they're unconstitutional. This is the beauty of having a First Amendment, right? This is the beauty of having it written in stone that you are allowed to speak freely and have opinions no matter how controversial they are. That's the beauty of this country. No other country in the world has a First Amendment. It is a beautiful thing. Our founding fathers, guys, were like obsessed with speech and guns. That's why those are the first two things. speech and guns. We're the only country in the world that protects speech and guns at all costs. All right? And both of them, quite frankly, right now are under attack. But it gets worse. The reasoning of the judge is that they said that belief, so her belief that Miss Forrestar's position is that even if a trans woman has a gender recognition certificate, so they hand out certificates now if you change genders, she cannot honestly describe herself as a woman. I mean, that's like basically saying like just because you have a piece of paper that says you're a woman now doesn't mean you're actually a woman, which is an undeniable scientific fact. But according to the laws in England, that belief is not worthy of respect in a democratic society. I repeat, that belief is not worthy of respect in a democratic society. That's insane. That is absolutely freaking insane that anybody would think that. Right? That anybody would say something like that. That like it's like that your belief in science is not okay. Sorry, that's just not acceptable. Like we don't tolerate science around here, guys. Give me a break. We don't have to respect that in the democratic society. That's a stupid fringe opinion, and ultimately J.K. Rowling got in play because she wrote, "Dress however you please, call yourself whatever you like, sleep with any consenting adult who will have you, live your best life in peace and security, but force women out of their jobs for stating that sex is real? Hashtag I stand with Maya." Like literally, who would ever have a problem with that? Right? Saying, but that women shouldn't be forced out of their jobs for stating that biological sex is a real thing. Right? I thought that we would all agree on that, but nope. We have to appease dudes. We have to appease dudes now. So that's just how it works. I can't say I'm that upset about it, but these SJWs guys are all turning on her. Like, never thought I would say this here, but here we are. Fuck you, JK. My daughter, who is trans, is a big fan of yours. It breaks my heart to see you post something indicating that discrimination against her. Who discriminating? No one's talking about discriminating. It's just like I refuse to state a lie. I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm not going to deny her of any rights, whatever. You want me to call her a chick or call her a chick? But I can't lie to myself and be like, you're a chick, because guess what? You don't menstruate and you can't get you don't have XX chromosomes. Like you'll never understand what it really feels like to be a female. There are different feelings that go along with that, right? So anyway, all right. Let's go a little Q&A here. You guys have any questions? Fire away from me right now. I'll answer as many questions as I can. Anything you guys want to talk about is fair game. Who's Nathan? Did we write about Nathan before? I don't remember. Are just an idiot pushing a narrative that isn't true? Okay. Let's see. Virginia is going to be a key state come November. I think you can kiss Virginia goodbye. Virginia's going to be a Democrat state for a long, long time because all the assholes in Washington, D.C., they wanted to move to Virginia for cheaper rent. So that state's done as far as I'm concerned. Done. Is the earth flat? No. Only morons like Kyrie Irving believe that. Other questions. Oh, is Nathan the flat earther from a long time ago? Jeez, I forgot about that guy. All right. Why did she have him on? She had him on, right? And he was like freaking stupid. Oh, shut up, Nathan. Nathan, why don't... Okay, how about this? Go jump... If the earth is flat, just go jump off it real quick. Right? Show me. You won't. You won't do it. You won't do it. All right, any other things? Any questions? Let me know. That's right, she did debate him. That's like one of her first slayings, if I recall, right? It's been so long. Do you think Pelosi has the right to dictate terms to the Senate? Man, these people are shifty. But you know what? Republicans have done some shifty stuff too, and they didn't confirm Merrick Garland. I think it's just games. It's just gamesmanship at this point. But the best part is, not while this is happening, Trump's still president. That's the only thing that matters. And he's going to win again. So really, that's the only thing that matters. None of the other theatrics or sideshows work. This is going to blow up in their face. It's going to be fucking awesome. It's going to be awesome. I'm not convinced on VA. The Dems are in control. So in Virginia, they control the governor. They have both senators, right? They have a majority of the House of Representatives there, and they control the state legislatures. That's it. They own that state now. Massachusetts doesn't even have. Massachusetts at least has a quote unquote Republican governor, so we don't even have that much of a monopoly as Virginia. Virginia's Dunsky. It's over in Virginia. It's a Democratic state now. And that's one thing Trump has done. People are like, he's going to win in a landslide. And I said it in the podcast today. Trump cannot win anything in a landslide. It is mathematically impossible. Because as much as he gets people to come over to his side, he angers people just as much on the other side and radicalizes them, right? Like, I have friends, right, that just like, I might be able to convince them that they should vote for John McCain or Mitt Romney. But Trump, it's like I couldn't do it. I mean, it's out of the question. Out of the question, because they've all been brainwashed by this nonsense. And it's done. So like states like Massachusetts, there's only like 7 states where Democrats did better in 2016 than they did in 2012. Massachusetts is one of them. Maryland is another one. California is another one. So New York's another one. He took all the most liberal states and made them more liberal. So it's not like he's going to go around picking up states. It's literally just the Midwest states. Those are the ones who decide the election now. Florida is done. Florida's a Republican state now. How many times they got to vote Republican in a row before you know that? Ohio is done. Ohio's a Republican state now, right? North Carolina is done. That's a Republican state now. There's really like only 4 states up for grabs, right? Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Arizona. Those are the 4 states. However, I will say this. I think Trump will win all of those states again. I think he will pick up at least 2 more states. I think he will pick up Minnesota, as long as Amy Klobuchar is not the nominee, which she probably won't be. And I think he will pick up, you heard it here first, I think Trump's going to win Maine. Trump only lost Maine by 2.5% last time. And Maine people are like, not they're woodsy folk, you know, except for the losers in Portland. They're woodsy folk. They like their guns, right? They've elected a Trump kind of guy to be governor before. I think he's going to win those 2 states. I don't think he's going to win New Hampshire. I think too many assholes have moved to New Hampshire. New Hampshire's an interesting state because Republicans go to New Hampshire because they don't want to pay taxes, right? Democrats go to New Hampshire because that's where they get all the drugs from. So it's like a 50-50 thing when they go up there. So it's like they've both, but New Hampshire's gone Democrat by a little bit several times in a row, and a trend is a trend is a trend. Collins is a complete lunatic. I hope you're not talking about Susan, because I love Susan Collins. I'll never forget her speech in defense of my good friend Brett Kavanaugh. Rhode Island is a state, by the way, that the Republicans picked up 11 points in the last election. Obama won that state by 35 points. I apologize, 25 points. Trump lost it by like 11. Rhode Island's actually a state that is trending towards the Republicans, but he's not close enough yet. It's not close enough yet. Yeah, Maine does have a congressional one. He will win at least 1 electoral vote in Maine. Maine has 4 electoral votes. It's 1 in 3. He'll win the 1, no doubt about it. But I think he's going to win all 4. I think he's going to win the whole state this time. Other questions? Yeah, I mean the Susan Collins. I don't care if Susan Collins is on the wrong side of 5 issues in a row from now on. All is forgiven with that speech. That was like one of the best speeches of all time. It was fantastic. She became a real team player that day. She spoke at a college graduation. I'm sure she's a really boring speaker. Don't get me wrong. When she's not defending Brett Kavanaugh. Yeah, Colorado is just going the wrong way. So many liberals are moving to Colorado. It's a hip place. And if you look at the trends, it's been going more and more Democrat. Same with Nevada. Same with New Mexico. Those are states that used to be up for grabs. They're not really up for grabs anymore. They go left all the time now. They're like Virginia, you know? Look at me. I'm like, talk about CNN, guys. I'm Mr. Politics over here. I'm a Bernie guy myself. Oh, for fuck's sake, don't say that. What are you? Are you lost, son? Are you lost? I think you're on the wrong channel. All right. Any other questions, guys? Can you explain why Maine and Nebraska are allowed to be congressional district? Because that's what they choose to be. Every state they can choose. Massachusetts could choose to do that themselves, but most states choose. I don't know why they do. Maybe there's just a rural-urban divide between them. But Nebraska's never close enough anyway for that to be an issue. It's always going to be red. It's always going to be Republican. But Maine could. I don't know why. That's actually a good question. But I know they definitely choose it. They definitely choose it. Oh, he's here for the auditing. Okay, that makes sense. That actually makes a lot of sense. But Bernie is the worst of the... I mean, I shit on Tom Steyer before. But it's not just Bernie that's bad. It's the people who follow him that are just... They're the worst of the worst. Like all those blue check marks today that were freaking out on J.K. Rowling... That's the Bernie wing of the Democratic Party. He brings out the worst. I mean, AOC and the squad are supporting him. What else do you need to know, right? They chose him over Pocahontas, right? That's how freaking crazy he is. He's above Pocahontas on the crazy scale. Enough said. I mean, Vermont actually has a Republican governor. That's an interesting state. They like their guns in Vermont. It's a weird... They're hippies who like guns. All right. Any other questions, guys? Any other pending lawsuits or court dates? So we filed a motion for summary judgment, which is the equivalent of a motion to dismiss in the Azadnia case. That was 2 weeks ago. They have a few weeks to respond. It'll probably be done after Christmas, and then it will be argued in front of a judge. $5,000, another $5,000 for that shit. Oi, and if that, I mean, pray over Christmas, guys, for me on that one. If that doesn't get dismissed in summary judgment, then it's got to go to trial. I'm not going to lose a trial. I just don't want to pay for trial. It's going to be very fucking expensive. Like another $20,000 down the drain. Oi! Good Lord. So we will see. Landon Part 7's coming hopefully Monday because I need to do a couple interviews with some Stolen Valor guys, because that's how I'm ending it. Is I'm going to talk to some Stolen Valor groups, and I want to find out why this guy's never been investigated or written about before. How's Failure Swift? She's still doing her thing in Rhode Island. Still fucking crazy. Still, I mean, the ACLU handles all that for me. So that's the easy one. That's the one I think about the least amount, quite frankly. And then the Genero Dog Tracker one, I finally have a day in court in January for that one. And the freaking Ace Ventura one, oi, that's another one. He's got a lawyer. Bunch of assholes, all these freaking lawsuits. And then there's Ryan Waters. We've been over that before. Thank you, Ida. I appreciate that. All right. Yes, the turtle tickets. Yes, I'm going to be posting about the event soon. I just got to get the link for that, and we're having an event in Worcester, January 31st, a Friday. I'm going to be doing a live show from the Legion Post in Tatnick Square in Worcester. Right? It's kind of near the airport, so mark your calendars, guys, for that, and it will be a good time. I promise. Did I wear blue tonight because I'm leaving you for Jerry? No, that wasn't the plan. What about the yoga chick? That's Azadnia. That's the one that had the summary judgment. All right, any other questions, guys? Bristol's going to strip for all you guys, Eddie says. Ooh, hot. Are you not allowed to blog about failure? She says, I could, but I mean, why? Is she doing new things? Is she same old crazy? I like to move on to new topics, you know? This isn't rerun week. Except for Abrams, that he never gets old. All right. All right, guys. So if no one else has any more questions, I guess we'll call it a night. I thank you for joining me, and we will see you all on we're gonna have to do a live show on Sunday this weekend because the Patriots are on Saturday, and I don't really feel like rushing it. You know what I mean? So we will see you all on Sunday for the live show. All right. Peace to all riders.